We are getting ever closer to the biggest sporting event this region has ever seen. The FIFA World Cup kicks off in Qatar on November the 20th. But just 3 days before that, all eyes will be on its neighbour here, the United Arab Emirates, as it plays host to the Dubai Globe Soccer Awards. Now, in its 13th edition, the ceremony recognises the best footballers, managers and teams that the game has to offer. And this year, some major players will be in town. Amongst those nominated for Men's Player of the Year are Premier League stars Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah, while in the women's category, Spanish midfielder Alexia Putellas and England defender Lucy Bronze are in contention. And you can check out more of the nominees at www.globesoccer.com. And amongst those awards this year, a new category, which is CNN's Off the Pitch Award, and that is for charitable work, foundation work by a team player or foundation. Well, one player who has certainly won enough awards during his career is the icon that is Zlatan Ibrahimović. The Swedish forward has done it all in the beautiful game. He's collected league titles in France, Italy and Spain, and has played for some of the biggest teams in European football. Last year, he helped his current team, AC Milan, to success in the Serie A. Well, when I sat down with him recently, he told me who he thinks the biggest challenges are this year. He also answered what is a burning question. When does the 41-year-old plan to finally hang up his boots? Have a listen to our discussion.
I think this season we are many teams in front that are battling for the first position, but we just have to keep going, keep winning the games, keep playing the way we are doing, and to grow, to become better, and really achieve what we did last year and to repeat the championship. So that would be amazing, and I think the mentality is there. And we know what we have to do to come in the first position, because we did it last year. So we just have to work hard and believe.
AC Milan have a proud history in Champions League. The team's last win, though, was 2007. Does that, to a certain extent, show how far off the pace they are at this point?
But we have to be realistic here. 2 years ago, this team, Milan, 95% of the players never played Champions League. And my team is a young team. This is the second year in Europe for them, and just won the championship in Italy. So it's a growing team, and obviously we want to do good in Europe. And with the history of the club, we want to match that in today's present times.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because Italian football isn't awash with as much money as the game is in other leagues, particularly the Premier League. Foreign owners muscling in and driving up the cost of players and their wages. You played for one of those big teams, of course, in France for PSG. I wonder, as a businessman, is this money good for the game, or is it strangling competition at this point? What's your personal sense? Money
brings possibilities. Money brings alternatives that maybe other ones cannot bring, and the hype in Premier League is much bigger than the Serie A, and that's why the economy is much bigger there. So they have the possibilities to bring the big talents, the best players, and Italy is not maybe on the same level. It makes it exciting also, because it becomes a challenge for the Italian clubs to beat the other clubs. And new money, I think, is good, because it becomes a domino effect, because let's say the lower teams have the possibility to make big moves. And unfortunately in Italy, it's not on the same conditions, but still we're pro players, and the ball is still around thing, and we're doing the same thing.
Are you still enjoying the game?
I am. I have a big passion for my game. Unfortunately, I'm injured at the moment, and I'm doing this recovery, and every time I come on a football field, I'm like a little kid that just want to play football, where you bring me back 20 years and the ball is in the middle and let's have fun. So I have a different situation now with my age and with the teammates I have, but I'm enjoying every day, because I think when you stop football, you will miss it so much that you don't want to have any regrets saying I should have kept playing. So I'm trying to stay at the level with these young guys, working hard and just to keep the rhythm, which is not easy.
I'm sure it's not. You're 41. It's amazing that you're still playing at the top of your game. Champions League, it's, you know, Serie A. I guess most people are going to want to know what the secret is. What is the secret, Zlatan?
I think in my case, I have this drive. I want to become better every day. I have a mentality that if I don't work hard enough, I'm not feeling good. It brings you to a level where you challenge your body, because it's all about challenging yourself. How far can you reach? How far can you take your body? And like you said, I'm 41 years old and I'm still on this level. And my mentality is very strong, because I demand a lot, not only from myself, but also from my teammates.
When you were at Manchester United, you had an injury which would have ended most people's careers at that age. I just want to know, how did you get through that? How do you get through the months of solitude and come out even stronger at the other end?
First, I was a little bit afraid, because I didn't really know if I could come back or what would happen. But slowly I took it day by day. I didn't look in front. I just accepted the situation, and I think it was more a mental thing, where I had to keep calm, keep patient, and let's say do a boring training. I didn't get a lot of adrenaline out of the training. And slowly, I became stronger. I came closer to the field, and then in the end, I was there in the middle of everybody.
What's the future for you? I mean, I spoke to the club CEO this time last year, and he said that he hoped you would end your playing career with the club. I mean, what's the future for you, mate?
I mean, I want to enjoy as long as possible. But I want to feel good also. I want to feel healthy. The last 6 months from the last season, I wasn't feeling good. My objective was to win the competition. That was everything. So now I want to feel good. I want to be healthy. And when I'm on that level, then I keep playing and see how far I can take it. But I'm not here because of my name or because of what I did before. I'm here because what I'm supposed to do. So as long as I can produce results, I will still play. The day I slow down, I want the people around me to be honest and say, it's slowing down, and then I'll be realistic and say, then I'm done.
But that isn't now. That's what you're telling me. That isn't now.
We're not there yet. Not.
Well, some of those shots, some of that drama on the pitch are just magical. And to still be doing that at 41 is remarkable. You can read a lot more about what Zlatan had to say about his club and his future at cnn.com/sport. He certainly always has plenty to say. We are learning